welcome to your Year 4 Week 2 Maths lesson. Today's topic, or this week's topic, is capacity. Normally when we do capacity, we look into volume as well. Because we're not at school, we're going to just focus on capacity, and hopefully we can do as much as we can at home, and we will be doing volume at school. And this is because of resources. So let's get started. Your introduction. Here, it's all about volume and capacity. I'd like you to read these paragraphs, but I'm going to read to you the capacity paragraph. So here, capacity refers to the amount a container can hold and is measured in units such as millimeters, liters, and kiloliters. You would have heard this a lot. We've done it previously. Remember, maths topics are building blocks. You would have started from kindergarten and you would have built up on that knowledge every year. Your milliliters and liters are very common, and you see these at shopping centers. You'll buy drinks that are measured in milliliters and liters. You'll buy milk, and you'll buy other liquid objects. Things that you might need for your car. Well, you wouldn't buy it, your parents will. They'll buy things for their car like oil, lots of other things around the home. And these liquid objects or liquid things are measured in milliliters and liters and kiloliters. So the capacity is only used when we've got liquid. We don't use it with solids. That's when volume kicks in. But that's in general. I want you to really focus on these words we're going to be using. When you use these words, you are a great mathematician. The one I'd like you to really focus on and remember is estimate. And remember that an estimate is not just taking any guess, but taking an educated guess. A guess that uses the information you've got. Okay, so your warm-up activity, I'm not going to read through that because we don't want the video to be too long. So basically, every learning intention is a new lesson. So this is Monday's lesson. Your learning intention is to use the terms liters and milliliters, and using the terms milliliters and liters to describe the capacity. You're also going to represent these milliliters and liters. Here's a review. I want you to really focus on this scale and the intervals. The intervals are those little lines in between. Your Monday activity. You're going to design and create your very own superhero drink bottle. And that superhero drink bottle is going to be 1 liter in capacity. I'd like you to read the instructions. I'm not going to read too much into it. But basically, you do need to show the scale. So on your bottle, you will have the intervals and a line to show where 1 liter stops. And you will show every 100 milliliters. Okay, this will give us a good understanding that you understand how it's measured up. A little bit of support is you can use these pictures here to show you what I mean by those intervals, especially this one, the beaker on the left. Then you've got your challenge. Now this first activity is pretty quick. It should not take you too long. And your challenge activity now is not really optional, but it's called a challenge because it's a bit difficult and will take more time. You're going to create a poster that demonstrates different cartons and containers that hold 1 liter. This will help you understand that 1 liter can look very different and can be used for different objects. You've got links to Coles, so if you click here, control and click, you'll be able to click onto Coles online as well as the Supercheap Auto website. Here is where you will submit your work for the first part, your design. You can draw it on a piece of paper and then add it in here, or you can even use the shapes over here to create your own. And you've got the lines to create the intervals, so click in here and you can click as I could, if I says select line, I want a straight line, and I could do that like this. So you've got the tools here on the actual Google Slides to create your very own 1 liter bottle, but you would have to work on putting things in front of. So if you click on format options, and if you click on position, oh no, it's not position, where is it? It's not here, so it must be, if you right click, and then here it says order, send backwards. So then I want the line in front. Can you see that? All right, it's pink, so it's not very bright, but send backwards and send forwards makes things you can layer. All right, let's keep going. So that's Monday. Now we've got Tuesday. Tuesday, again, we're going to identify 1 liter objects in everyday life. And then submerge means put underwater or go under. You're going to put an object underwater and see what happens. And you're recording what happens in milliliters or liters. Here, so activity 1. What items do you find in your house? So not online, but in your home. Which items do you think? So you're estimating here. You're estimating which items you think will measure to 1 liter. Find 3 objects that you think or containers. Estimate, and then put a picture of those objects in the next slide. Activity 2. This is the one where you need parent permission and parent support. Find a measuring jug and fill it up to 1 liter. After you've got your 1 liter measuring jug, it needs to be a little bit wide, guys, and showing intervals as well. So if you've got a cooking measuring jug, that would work best. If you've got a bucket and it has 1 liter on the side, or even your kettle, but with the kettle and those objects, you won't be able to measure with the difference, but you could still describe it. So if you can't exactly get a measuring jug, that is fine, but just remember that you're still going to tell me about just about what the difference is with the water, and I can't say too much without giving it away. So you're going to find the measuring jug, fill it with 1 liter of water, get some rocks or pebbles or a small object that can be placed in water. Place one of them into the jug. What do you notice? I want you to write down what you see. Record the new capacity if you can. So it goes from 1 liter to something else. Does it go down? Will it become something milliliters? Or will it go up and become 1 liter and something milliliters? Whatever you find, record it down on the next page and continue reading, because there's other things you're going to write. So you're going to tell me what you notice, what happens to the water, information about the rocks, and does it tell us about the weight of the rocks by any chance? And then record this on the next slide. So these will go over here. So you've got your first activity results and then your second activity results. And I've already started typing that I discovered that. But you can also, if you want to, click on the T box, and that's a text box, and you can start typing your own thing here. So that's that. Now let's keep going. Wednesday. I can estimate the capacity of a container in milliliters and liters and then check by measuring. You're going to find 4 small medium-sized containers in your home. You're going to fill them with some water. Estimate how much water you think your container can hold first. Write your answer on the next slide. Pour the water into a measuring jug. So you've got the water here. You haven't measured it, you're just filling a container. You don't know how much is in there. Choose containers that don't have a scale on it for me. You'll need your 1 liter measuring jug as well. So you're going to pour the water in. A tip is to pour the water 1 liter at a time so it's easier to measure, if it's a larger container especially. So you're going to use that container to measure how much water that container did hold. Record how much water each container holds And you can draw your findings, but that part's optional. You can draw them. But here is your, basically your table of answering. So your picture and description of your container you've chosen. So say, for example, I chose a vase. I would write vase for flowers, tall and thin. Estimated measurement, I might think, so I'll write that here. I'll put tall, vase, thin. And then my estimated measurement, I think it's going to be 1.4 liters, or I could put it as 1,400 milliliters. And then I'm going to have my vase, fill it up to the top. Okay, then I pour it into my measuring jug, and for example, I found out that the vase actually measured 800 milliliters. Okay, or if you want to put that in liters, it would be 0.8 because it's not exactly 1 liter. Okay, so that is your Wednesday activity. You're going to do that for your objects. I've got 3 slides here in case you do end up drawing a picture and inserting a picture as well. But basically it's finding a jug or finding a container and measuring how much water it holds. But you're doing the opposite. You're not pouring your water one at a time. You're doing the opposite where you're filling it in and putting it into the jug slowly. Then you can order your containers. So you would either, so if my largest, so the question said up here, it says draw your findings, then order them from the container that holds the least to the most. So if on this page, you're going to put least. So I don't know, my vase was the least, then it might have been my drink bottle, oops, and blah, 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 all the way to the most. Okay, so you can fill it in by typing. You can also insert pictures, that's up to you. Your Thursday activity, I'd like you to choose one or more of these activities and complete them. They're lots of fun. I'm not going to talk too much about them, but you can insert your pictures of your activities. When you're doing the online ones, you can also insert a picture using the print screen. So PRT-SCR, click on that once while on your screen of your game, and then come here and then click on paste, and it will paste that picture of your screen, but you will need to make it smaller. Have a lot of fun, guys. I can't wait to see your amazing maths work, and I'm here if you need anything. This week's maths is pretty straightforward and very hands-on, so have lots of fun. And please don't stress if you don't have a measuring jug. Just do your best. Use things around you at home that you can, or you might even use the little cups. So 1 cup is about, if you measure it, it might tell you underneath this holds this many milliliters. You might even use a bottle, like a bottle of anything, like even a carton of milk, whatever helps. If you've only got a 2-liter bottle of milk that you need to use, you can always just use half of it and work out what half of the 1 liter is. Put a line with your texter, make that 500 milliliters. Half of the 500 milliliters, you know, is 250 milliliters. So you could even make your own measuring jug like that. Have lots of fun. Can't wait to see your amazing work. Remember to use the Google Slides to complete the activity. Please don't put it into your completed work. It all goes here, and have lots of fun. Bye everyone.